Hello, I'm Alex Davies, founder of Wealth Club, and today I'm with Andrew Wolfson, Managing Director of the Pembroke VCT. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Alex.
First off, perhaps you could just tell me a little bit about Pembroke and the people behind it.
Well, Pembroke VCT is part of the Oakley Capital Group. Oakley Capital was set up by Peter Dubins and currently manages 1.5 billion euros. In fact, Peter gave me my first job back in the early 90s when he had a t-shirt printing business which provided all the t-shirts for Planet Hollywood and the Hard Rock Cafe. And he also, you might remember them, the t-shirts that change colour with body temperature, hypercolour. So brands and growing brands has really been in Peter and the firm's DNA for many, many years. I went off and did a number of things after he sold the business to Coates Viola. I went off and did a number of things from hospitality through to furniture design, through to telecoms manufacturing. And then in 2009, I rejoined Peter to look after his earlier stage business investments.
And what does the Pembroke VCT aim to do for people?
Well, what we aim to do is we like to give our investors access to really, really high quality growth opportunities in the consumer brand sector. While giving people access to these growth opportunities, we also target to give people a 3% dividend yield on their investment.
So do you want to give me a few examples of the companies you've invested in?
Yes, well, the companies we've invested in over the last 4 years are companies that we consider to be high growth opportunities in the consumer brand sector. We've invested in Five Guys, a fantastic burger chain. We've invested in Chilangos, that are now a nationwide brand. We've invested in a wonderful company called Blaze, which is a laser cycle light that is now throughout the cycle hire scheme in London. We've invested in Plenish, a cold press juicing business and nut milk business, who have taken that to a new level and are now nationwide through the likes of Sainsbury and Waitrose.
They all seem to be a certain type of company. Are there any types of companies you would avoid?
Well, the companies that I avoid, and I don't make a hard and fast rule to avoid anything, but the companies that I get nervous about are companies that are what I would call a pure digital play. The companies that we like to invest in are companies that have a product, they have a supply chain, they have exceptional founders, they have a consumer, and they have a distribution network. And when we can evaluate all those aspects, we can somewhat de-risk the investment.
Have you had any exits yet?
Obviously, 4 years in the investment cycle, and we would consider that if we're doing well investing in early stage businesses, we would look at that cycle to exit as being 5 to 7 years. So we are managing the portfolio. We do see some exits on the horizon, but as yet we've only had companies that we've had to unfortunately not continue investing in.
There's a wall of money going into VCTs at the moment as a result of pension changes, etc. And also rule changes recently, which has meant that people have to invest more in the type of companies you're investing in. Are you finding it harder to get deals, and is it pushing up prices?
No, funnily enough, we're not finding it hard to get deals. We're actually seeing more and more deal flow coming into our offices. I think we were set up originally to back early stage businesses, so we haven't had to change our investment strategy in the slightest. That can't be said for a number of other players in the VCT industry. What we really focus on is backing founders in 4 sectors. Those sectors are hospitality, health and fitness, media and technology, and fashion and accessories. And what we look for is businesses that are roughly doing around $1 million of revenue on an annualized basis. At that point, me and my team, we can evaluate the founder and the management team. We know that they will have come up with some challenges to get to that $1 million of revenue, so we can see how they managed to scale those hurdles, or whether they had to throw too much cash at a problem. Whatever it is, they will have been through supply chain problems, distribution problems. We can also evaluate what the supply chain is and whether that supply chain can really deliver the business plan that we've been presented with. So if you have a whole bunch of small suppliers and your business plan says that you're going to be a £50 million company, there's going to be a breakdown that the supply chain can't actually can't produce the products to be able to supply the business plan. The other thing which is really important that it allows us to do, is it allows us to evaluate who the consumer is, which a lot of investments seem to really forget. It's absolutely vital to have that revenue stream and to know who the market is. Have they engaged with the brand online? Are they engaging with the brand through likes of one of the major retailers? Is it a restaurant on a high street where it's getting footfall? But we can really evaluate who the consumer is, and therefore can look at the growth plan and say this is something that can work if we put the money in and we've got the expertise to be able to introduce them to our huge third-party network of strategic advisors and also owners of other businesses who can help them in their journey.
So yeah, that brings me on to my next point. How hands-on are you when it comes to investing?
I like to tell founders that we're as hands-on as they want us to be. I don't want to micromanage founders. The reason we back exceptional founders is because we want to let them run their business. They're the ones who should know most about what they're trying to achieve. What we're there to do is to help them along that journey.
And is there a typical return you're looking for? So when you've set out to invest in Five Guys or whatever, you're thinking, well, in 5 years' time, I want 5 times my money back, or how does it work?
I mean, as a rough gauge, we would want to make, as an average, we would want to make 3 times our money. Now, we will obviously have some that fly and make a vast ROI, and we'll have others that don't. And it's really a case of knowing at what stage should we be getting out. What stage should we look to bring in new talent to the team, new money to the team. And so what I look at this £1 million revenue mark is that if we can grow that business into turning over 10 to 20 million, it opens up the funding circle enormously.
Okay. And finally, I'm going to invest in a VCT this year. Why should I invest in yours?
Well, I think for 3 main reasons. We have, you would be getting access to a maturing portfolio. We've been investing for 4 years now. We've got currently 26 companies in our portfolio, some of whom have already raised money at significant increases than the level we invested at. There are exits on the horizon. Secondly, we have fantastic deal flow through our Oakley network and our friends and family network. We have a great deal flow, and we're seeing a lot of opportunities at the moment that are very exciting. And thirdly, and something we haven't really touched on today, is this issue of fees. We are the lowest capped fee in the industry at 2%. We don't charge our portfolio companies any portfolio management fees, any non-exec director fees, any transaction fees, any monitoring fees. We feel that your money should be going, we should be looking after it in a responsible way, putting it into the companies for growth, not to pay us through the back door.
That's great. Andrew Wolfson of Pembroke VCT, thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex.